Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is SmokedAlive. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions on the HOURGLASS Vanish Stick Foundation. So this foundation runs for $46 and it says a long wear foundation stick with a coverage of a concealer, fluidity of a liquid, and weightlessness of a powder for invisible full coverage. So if you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of full coverage foundations, but I'm starting to like them, but I'm very picky about them. So we will see if this is actually a weightless full coverage foundation. I hate that you can't see this ponytail unless I'm like sideways and like push it up, you know? It's annoying. So I never judge a foundation without putting primer on because I put primer on every foundation I use, so it actually helps me to tell if I think the foundation works. Okay, so I was trying not to go in with the Radiance primer, but this is the only one I have. This is the Laura Mercier Radiance primer. I do like the other one more, which is just the foundation primer. It's like a basic one, but this will work because I do like this primer so far. It's still new because it's just like a sample from Sephora, but I have really liked it so far. Okay, so I got the shade Alabaster, which if you saw in my haul video, it is too dark for me, so we're just gonna excuse that. I'm just gonna pull it up just once, because girl, this stuff's expensive. So I'm just gonna start with one side of the face, and we'll do like the brush, and then on the other side we'll do the sponge and see what we like better. Whoa. For a stick, that goes on like so smooth. Like I'm like barely pressing. I love how this like emphasizes all your pores when you're putting it on. It's like, ah! Figured I would bring you guys in a little bit. I'm not going to do any more than this because it said it is full coverage, so we will see. I'm using the Sephora Pro Contour Blender because I actually enjoy it for foundation. Because again, if you watch my channel, you know that I don't really like foundation brushes. This does have a decent amount of pigment. Already I am clinging to, already it is clinging to some dry patches. I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but it's clinging, which makes me nervous. So I do feel like you will go through this so quickly. I'm curious of how long this foundation is going to last me, because I'm like, oh! I'm going to go in with a little bit more primer here on this side to see if adding that Radiance primer is going to help not have all those dry patches. So far I'm thinking if you are someone with dry skin, this is not going to work for you, which is really sad because I see Jaclyn Hill use it, and I love Sarai, or however you say her name, and their skin looks flawless. Flawless. But let's not get carried away. I haven't even done the whole thing, so I have already clicked this 3 times, which makes me insanely nervous how quick I am going through the product. But I do like the way this like goes on the face. Like it feels really cool. Okay, so we're gonna take my beauty blender and see how this goes. Okay, you have to apply a decent amount of pressure, which makes sense because this is a cream foundation. So I'm realizing it blends in better with like patting motions. I feel like this does dry pretty quickly. I had such high hopes for this foundation and it is not giving it to me. So now that I am putting this foundation on my skin, it looks like a lot darker in here, but it's actually turning out pretty okay. Okay, so this is my skin after one layer. You can still see my acne and things like that. I would say it is definitely medium to full. Just isn't really looking that good. I don't feel like it's flattering my skin. Alright, we're just going to try a second layer to see if this is buildable. Sorry, now I'm going back and forth between brushes. I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, girl, that is full coverage. So, definitely buildable. And that gets pretty intense. So if you're someone with oily skin and you like full coverage, I think this would be your jam. but I'm curious to see if I'm going to end up liking it. You guys, I just got a notification that Kat Von D liked my photo, and I was like, yeah, right, this is probably some, like, impersonation, you know what I mean? How people, like, put Kat Von D's name. Nope. The Kat Von D liked my photo! Ah! Who cares if I like this foundation now? I mean, Kat Von D just liked my photo, nothing else matters. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my makeup. We'll come back, take a look, and we'll see if I end up liking this. Okay, just a quick little check-in. Powders go over this absolutely beautifully. Like, no problem whatsoever. I think the powders are, like, gorgeous over this foundation. If you're interested, you can skip past this if you're not, but I'm going to go try the Metal Crush Kat Von D highlighting palette. I'm going to use this for the first time, and we're just going to use the middle shade. We're just going to pop that right on those cheekbones. Whoa, glitter is flying everywhere. Okay, so it's not really like... It's not really doing much. Like, the swatches of it are gorgeous, but it's just kind of like spreading glitter, and that's it. It's not really adding pigment. Let's go in with my finger. Okay, the finger actually applies it better. It's just very, very, very glittery. I'll get a close-up. If you do not like glitter and like it looking really chunky, do not get this. Okay, my makeup is complete. I did such a different look than I would normally do. Like, I've never done green shadow. This lip is very warm, but I wanted to try out some new products. Alright, so this is where I'm at right now. Is it my favorite foundation? No. Do I like it under the beauty lights? Absolutely not. Do I like how it looks on the camera? Yes, my skin looks pretty flawless on the camera. Now, if I step away from the beauty lights and I go to a window and I look at my skin, it actually looks pretty good. And I think for a full coverage foundation, because this is very full, it does look natural or like skin. So I do agree with that more weightless opinion. So as of right now, things are looking up, forward. I'm not as disappointed as I was. What we're gonna do, what time is it? It is 6:26. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera off, let this sit on my skin, probably till about 9 o'clock. We will come back and do a check-in, and we will see how the foundation's holding up, how it looks once everything is sunken in, because I've had foundations where I put them on and I hate them, and then I wait like 3 hours and I'm like, girl, and I love the way my skin looks. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a little bit of time to sink into my natural oils, and I will be back. Hey guys, it is now 9 o'clock. I've had this foundation on for 2.5 hours, and on camera, from what I can see on my viewfinder, it looks amazing. Like, amazing. But in person, if I'm just being honest, it looks like I've had it on for probably like 6 to 8 hours, and I've only had it on for 2.5. So this normal wear is like the Maybelline Fit Me after like 8 hours. And then it has settled into my skin and made my pores not necessarily bigger, but it shows more of them. It didn't magnify them, but like that you can see them down here, which normally you can't. For $50 after tax, there are better foundations, and to be honest, like, I think Maybelline Fit Me is like basically the same exact thing. But it's way cheaper, so I can be like, I love it, because for a drugstore foundation, it's amazing. But for $50, I'm like, Now, will I film with it? 100% because of the way that it looks in the camera. But I want you guys to know what it actually looks like in real life. It's not the best foundation, so we're gonna reel you in so you can see. Okay, so I'm hoping that you guys can see, because it does look pretty good on camera. And I normally have pores with every foundation, but I feel like they're like a little bit more, like you can see them further out but they're not magnified. They're not like big. Does that make sense? I hope. It's not fading at all, but again, like I haven't had it on. I did eat a burger. And I have been running my nose, and so it's come off here, but I mean, not crazy. Is that a booger?
That's so embarrassing.
The forehead isn't horrible. It's just, it's not wowing me for a $50 foundation. You can see this little zit, and I mean, for a full coverage foundation, you can still see it pretty prominently. Oh, that's bad. Look, I need to drink water. I feel like I'm so bad at foundation reviews because I'm super picky. 2, I'll end up like liking it 6 months later. But my first impressions, it's not wowing me. Now, I think I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say. I ain't gonna justify what I'm saying. It's just not wowing me. I don't think it's worth $46. I would rather buy a drugstore foundation. So, did I cover everything? The one pro to this is the way powders blend on top of it is gorgeous. Now the way concealers and creams blended on top of it, just like an everyday foundation. But that's really the only plus. Other than that, I'm just kind of like, eh. So if I left anything out, check the description bar because I will let you know. And I will continue to use this foundation, and if anything changes from my review on the video, I will also update the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have this foundation and if you like it, and I will see you guys next week.